Welcome to Portland Community College. We'd like to welcome our scholarship recipients, our donors, and our guests to our annual PCC Foundation Scholarship Reception. I'm Kristin Watkins. I'm the Associate Vice President for College Advancement here at PCC, and I'm also the Executive Officer of the PCC Foundation. We're so pleased that all of you could join us today to recognize our amazing and wonderful Foundation Scholarship recipients. I'd like to recognize a few folks in the audience today. First off, we have some members of our PCC Board of Directors. If they could please stand. I believe Ken Madden and his wife Cindy are here. If we could have a round of applause for them. I don't think I see any other of our elected board members in the audience, but we definitely have some of our foundation board members here as well. If they could please stand and be recognized. Please, Mr. Max Lyons and his wife Carol, and Lionel Maldonado there in the back, and the president of our foundation, Mr. Dick Stenson. And I would definitely like to recognize our college president, Dr. Jeremy Brown, who's here on stage with us. You'll get a chance to hear from him in just a moment. And we also have several members of his senior leadership team, what we call here Dr. Brown's cabinet, and if they could please stand and be recognized. Well, today is all about celebrating our scholarship recipients. And so while we've just recognized a number of people in the audience, I want to be sure that everyone knows that the most important people here are the wonderful students who are benefiting from the scholarships that our many donors who are here in the audience have provided. Let's give all of our students a round of applause. This academic year, the PCC Foundation awarded scholarships to 875 students, totaling $940,000. And I want to acknowledge a group of those students. 500 of them are actually part of a special program called the Future Connect Scholarship Program. This is an initiative we began 2 years ago in partnership with the City of Portland, and this year expanded with the cities of Beaverton and Hillsborough. And this particular program offers high school graduates who are the first in their families to go to college not just a scholarship at PCC, but also intensive advising and mentoring, which we know will have a significant impact on their ability to complete their college degree. Now, to put these numbers in perspective, I just want to let you know that 5 years ago, the foundation awarded about $400,000 in scholarships to about 350 students. So just in 5 short years, the foundation has doubled the number of scholarships and the amount of money that we are awarding to our students, and that is truly tremendous. And that type of increase could not have happened without the support of our many donors, our many generous donors, and some of you are with us today, and I would like to ask all of you to stand so that we can thank you. Could all of our donors please stand? I'd like to share just a few facts to let you know how important your scholarship gifts are. The first, 40% of Oregon's high school graduates do not go on to college. And this is worse than the national average. The percentage of students from a given high school who go on to college almost always tracks with the percentage of families in that school that have limited incomes. So the fewer financial resources a family has, the less likely their children are to go to college. Your scholarship gifts change those odds. The second fact is that once students get to college, there's still significant barriers to staying and succeeding. Two primary indicators of whether or not a student will stay at PCC and complete their degree are whether or not they received some sort of financial support and whether or not they went to school full or part-time. And of course, we know that whether or not you can go to school full-time, many of our students here today know that that's directly related to your financial resources. And the more you have to work, the less time you have to spend on your studies. Your scholarship gifts are important. Without your gifts, many of our students would not attend college, would not earn a degree, and will not achieve their dreams. So on behalf of them and all of us at PCC, we thank you. Portland Community College, our foundation, and both our college and foundation boards are committed to growing our scholarship resources so that we can increase the number of students who can experience the life-changing impact of a PCC education. And you're going to hear from some of our alums today about just that impact. And this July, we welcomed a new leader to our college who has a truly exciting vision for the role philanthropy can play here at PCC and the impact it can have on our students. And I have no doubt that his vision will enable us to double or triple or even quadruple our scholarship awards in the years ahead. No pressure, Dr. Brown. It's my privilege to introduce our new president, Dr. Jeremy Brown.
Thanks. Really, thank you, everybody, to be here, for letting me be here today. Thank you to the PCC Foundation for organizing such a wonderful event to celebrate our scholars, each of whom has been selected to receive a PCC scholarship. I'm really particularly delighted to be here today to speak with you because this represents literally the embodiment of our support, our confidence, and our belief in PCC students. To our scholars, you have much to celebrate. I hope that you are as proud of yourselves as we are of you. No matter the roadblocks and hurdles you've had before you, you are proving to yourselves and to all of us that you have what it takes to succeed. I hope you realize that your efforts have not gone unnoticed, and that academic prowess and dedication to your studies has and will have many tangible and intangible rewards. Scholarship recipients are those who study diligently and maintain excellent grades. I know that many of you are working, some of you possibly more than one job while you attend college. And there are many of you who are also juggling family responsibilities as well. Give yourselves a pat on the back for keeping all of those balls in the air, because you really deserve it. Your achievements speak loudly, and your future is bright because of your efforts to realize your potential and to dare to dream. Congratulations. To the parents, families, and invited friends and guests of our scholars, thank you for your encouragement that you offer these students. I know from personal experience what it means to have the support of one's family, your loved ones, whilst you're in school. Your advocacy, your support, and your encouragement helps to remind them of their talents and their capabilities, and to keep their eyes firmly fixed on that goal. This focus leads to academic success, which in turn will open doors for them down the road. Our goal at the college is to echo this encouragement, to create a challenging yet nurturing home-like environment for each and every one of our students, so they have the confidence and the skills to achieve their goals. So together, let's continue to maintain this network of support for our most deserving scholars. And to our donors, what can I say? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, thank you. Without your support, PCC would not be in the position to offer academic scholarships to our deserving students, many of whom deeply need financial assistance and student support to attend PCC and to complete their degrees. High-achieving students, supportive family and friends, a nurturing college environment, and generous donors. This is the cycle of support that enables students to succeed in their studies, hit their personal goals, obtain their degrees, and go out into the world or on to a four-year university and achieve their dreams, serving as ambassadors for PCC whilst on that journey, and making the community at large stronger and more vibrant as PCC alums. Together, we're creating new futures for our students. And I can't thank each and every one of you for the part that you play in the support in this process. I really hope that you realize that this is more than creating new futures for the recipients. Your generosity has changed their lives for sure, but also the lives of their immediate families, both present and future, as well as society in general. Pulling from my own personal background, I understand the myriad doors that open for students because of higher education. Neither of my parents had higher education as a designated career path. Both were affected by the Depression and the war. My mother returned to college to be trained as a special education teacher, whilst my father, the youngest of 12, had to drop out of school at the age of 13 to support his family financially. Education was always very important in my family, and my parents encouraged myself and my siblings to pursue it, to aspire with conviction, and to challenge ourselves academically. And we all did. My siblings challenged me, as most of your siblings do, to reach beyond your expectations, to push yourselves to the very limits. And I have come way farther than I ever could have dreamt possible because of the opportunities that have been offered to me in education. So in this way, I do understand the perspective of our students who might be the first in their families to attend college, and who might be a bit frightened at the thought of that. It's a new world that you're navigating, exciting and scary at the same time. PCC represents the door to possibility, a door opening to you similar in many respects to what I experienced a long time ago. There's also another door open to you, which is the door when you graduate, and that's also scary. What lies on the other side of that door? And when you open it, there are so many possibilities out there. But I also want you to remember that your connection to PCC does not end when you graduate. When you walk across the stage and shake hands with a guy wearing a funny hat, that would be me. We are here for you after you graduate. You are going to be an alumnus of this great institution. This is a lifelong connection to us. We hope that you will remain true to us and be connected with us. So to our scholars, I know the road that you're on. I've taken that journey. And all of you represent the next generation to travel it. I know that it is tough, sometimes disheartening, questioning, and demanding. But today, I hope, fills you with renewed vigor. Many wonderful things are in store for you, our future PCC alums. I can assure you of that. In closing, I exhort each and every one of you to remember this day, the close connection with those people who believe in you and encourage you, both financially and emotionally. Please remember to give back when you are able, so that those who follow behind you will have similar opportunities to change their lives. At this time in the program, it says that I was to introduce Margaret Carter, the Deputy Director of Oregon's Department of Human Services and a former senator, as well as a counselor and instructor at PCC. Unfortunately, Margaret was unable to join us today because of unexpected circumstances that came up rather quickly. She was, like we all are, extremely disappointed that she couldn't be with us. But she did send a letter that we've given to our scholars, and it expresses her regret at not being able to attend, but also sends a message with pride in our students' achievements. However, I do have the good fortune and the honor to introduce someone who personifies the power of education, someone who is doing great things for our community because of her determination, her passion, and her desire to give back. Someone who represents the PCC attributes of bold, fearless, powerful, and proud. Almost a decade ago, Tara Roberts, a resident of Vernonia, sought a way to provide for her family after her husband left her and their 8 children. She registered for classes at the Rock Creek campus, working on general education in advance of a nursing degree, whilst also receiving support and guidance from instructors, as well as scholarships from the PCC Foundation. These all enabled her to finish her associate's degree. Tara transferred to Oregon Health and Science University, where she earned a bachelor's degree in nursing in 2009. This was followed by enrolling in a double graduate program at OHSU, a master's in nursing with a focus on family practice, and a doctorate in nursing practice, specifically on sustainability of healthcare in rural areas. She obtained her doctorate last year and was hired by OHSU and Columbia County Public Health to help facilitate the opening of the school-based health center in Vernonia. Tara has said that when opportunity knocks, open that door, because it's PCC on the other side of that door. And that the proudest thing that she can say is that she is a PCC alumna. Let's hear what else we have to say from Tara Roberts, and please give her a very, very warm PCC welcome.
Give me a moment to sort out my papers. I am extremely pleased to be here today. I'm sorry that we did not get to hear from the former senator, but that just meant that I had an opportunity to come speak with you. So I am very honored to be here. And Dr. Brown, thank you for that fabulous introduction and warm welcome. Salutations to all the donors, faculty, students, family, and friends that have come here today. I'm delighted to be here to share my story with you and to add to what was said and add a few remarks of my own, specifically to you students who are starting your path to education or are continuing at this point. As we go forward as students, I feel like we have something in common. I am a PCC alumni, and someday you will be as well. And I feel that it's likely that we have also many other things in common. As I look at the faces that are sitting out here in front of me, I see a wide variety of age ranges, different walks of life. So I'm also going to go out on a limb and say probably some parents sitting here that are students or people who are caring for loved ones in their home, have struggles with finances, and know what it is and value earning an education in spite of all the challenges that you face at this time. So let me share a little bit more about my story and the things that we may have in common and how to maybe overcome some of those barriers and focus on that education. It's true, in the fall of 2004, I was a homemaker full-time with 8 children and had a husband who abruptly left me with a home that was gutted to 2x4 studs from flooding in Vernonia. I did not have any previous education of any kind other than a high school diploma when I decided to go back to school. It was after long pondering over about a week, very little sleep, that this thought came to me, and it would not leave me. And the thought was, what if this adversity is just an opportunity in disguise? It was a lot to think about. And then the thought that came after that was, if this is an opportunity in disguise, what is the opportunity? Can I go live my dreams? Is it possible that someone who has that many children, limited resources, could actually get an education and live their dreams? Is that reasonable? I decided to put it to the test. So the first thing I did was I walked on to the Rock Creek campus, where I began a wonderful relationship with PCC, getting help from anybody that I asked at any time. I have been to many campuses now. I have children who have graduated and gone out to other colleges in the area, and I can still tell you unequivocally, I love the PCC bookstore, financial aid department. Everybody on the PCC campus is so easy to work with. So I hope that you enjoy them as students and use those resources frequently and often. I have some tips for some of you students who may not have figured some of these out yet, but here's one, and I have 3, and I hope not to take too many minutes. Tip 1, communicate, communicate, communicate. What do I mean by that? I mean this. Communicate with your instructors. If you're having a struggle in your class, and it could be anything. It could be from understanding text, it could be from obtaining materials, it could be from stumbling over the technology that's required in a class. Communicate with your instructors. Communicate with your scholarship donors. If there's a requirement in your scholarship to keep a GPA or a certain grade average that would preclude you from getting your next scholarship, then communicate with them. Don't wait. Communicate, communicate, communicate. I was blessed to have some fabulous instructors at PCC that times in my life where children presented some obstacles to getting to class or finishing an assignment, I communicated with those instructors and was pleasantly surprised how willing they were to modify things, such as an English class I had taken, turned it into an online class to finish the last 2 weeks that met my needs for caring for a child in a hospital. Communicate. They're human, they're there to help you, everybody at PCC is. Tip 2. Some of you might be taking classes that feel like it's stretching you a little bit beyond where you're comfortable. That's good. We should be stretched, we should be a little bit stressed, but there becomes a point when you go beyond that. Much like a rubber band, if you stretch it too far, it snaps, and you don't really learn much that way. So another thing about being a college student is really to know when you've reached your limits, when you've reached those boundaries, and when it's time to maybe take a step back. And by taking a step back, it doesn't mean that, for my personal example, Math 95 in a summer class where it's condensed, bad idea. Math 95 broken into 91, 92 over 2 terms, better idea. So know when you have reached your limits and how to back up a little bit, take a step back, and figure out how to go forward again so that you can be successful. And there's no shame in taking a step back. Better to take a step back than to stop and not continue on. So that's tip 2. Tip 3, plan for the unexpected. It's kind of hard to plan for the unexpected, isn't it? My first day at PCC, I had scheduled classes over 3 different campuses for the purpose of being able to be home in the evening with my children. But as a brand new student, I was low on the totem pole to register for classes, so that meant I was at the Rock Creek campus for one class, I was at the Sylvania campus for an English class, and I was at the Workforce Training Center for another class, just to get my classes on Tuesday, Thursday, which was fine with me. It met my needs. However, I didn't have a running vehicle when my husband left. I was borrowing a car. And so when I drove that car that first day of school, I did not turn the lights off. So at the end of my biology class, the car did not start, and I only had 45 minutes to get from Rock Creek to Sylvania in lunch traffic. So needless to say, I was late for the first day of class. Eked into the back and hoped that the instructor wouldn't say too many things, because it was a rough day. It was my first day back to school. But she noticed I was late, and we talked about it, and so I had to find better ways to be better prepared so that that didn't happen again. One was jumper cables in that car that wasn't mine, just in case. So there's going to be things in your life that are going to cause barriers for you to be successful in your classes, and they may not be of your own doing. They may be outside forces. They may be your own. Maybe you're a procrastinator. So figure out what those barriers are. Plan ahead. If you've got children, plan ahead for your daycare to crap out on you and not be there. Figure out what you're going to do for Plan B. If it's resources, figure out what Plan B is for your resources. Again, if it's a car issue, figure out who am I going to call if it's that car's not running, I need to get to class. But planning ahead will definitely help you and reduce your stress and make you more successful in your classes. So, in closing, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the PCC Foundation and all the donors who are here today, and the donors of the past who donated for myself to be able to be successful in school. And my children have also been recipients of scholarship awards from the foundation as well. And it has changed my life. It has changed their lives. I was the mom who lived on food stamps, WIC, Social Security for my disabled son to get through school. And now I stand before you today, Dr. Roberts, running 2 clinics in Vernonia, working on doing healthcare reform, and proud to be it, and paying taxes. So, my last comment is this, and this door analogy has been said by me, has been used by Dr. Brown. So, education is the door to the rest of your life. I honestly believe that with every breath of my body. Studies have consistently shown that those with more education lead healthier, fuller lives and live longer. The PCC Foundation, with the generous support of their donors, is making an investment in you, in us, in the long-term health and sustainability of Oregonians as a whole. They aren't giving you a handout, but rather offering you a key to walk through that door and to live your dreams. I challenge you to seize the opportunity. Now, to continue on with the program, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce Erika Chavez. She is our student speaker, and to say Erika is a hardworking student would be an understatement. Erika graduated from high school in 2011 with a Chancellor's Diploma with a 3.8 GPA. She was involved with her school's rigorous international baccalaureate program, in which she finished 6 college courses while she was still in high school. She hopes to receive a master's degree in business administration. In addition to Erika's strong academic life, she has continued to volunteer her time. She became involved with the Oregon Food Bank, and this year was awarded both the Agency Excellence Award and the True Life Fellowship Youth Volunteer Award. She was the recipient of the PCC Foundation's Service to Community Scholarship last year and is the current recipient of the Foundation's Brenda Fung Business Scholarship. We are proud to give Erika the chance to tell us more about herself today, and we're proud of all her accomplishments. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you, Tara. And good evening, everyone. My name is Erika Chavez, and it's truly a great honor to stand before you this evening. Like Tara said, I was a scholarship recipient of the Service to Community Scholarship, and this year of the Brenda Fung. I am now currently a junior at Pacific University. However, my journey to higher education began at PCC in 2011. I was very excited to start a career at PCC, but to be honest, I was completely overwhelmed with what career to choose, how to get there, and how to pay for it when I honestly cannot afford it. As the first person in my family to attend college, guidance was one of the major factors I lacked. Yeah, I was so determined to make one of my family's dreams come true of going to college that I went ahead and took the challenge. Some of the steps I took were to look into career resources and check with PCC advisors constantly. This definitely helped me relieve the feeling of stress and anxiety. I have to thank PCC advisors, especially May Donahue, for helping me build a path that would help me pursue my goals. Something I do realize on the way, though, is that it's really important to ask questions. No matter how silly they may seem or that you might think they are they're the most essential keys to move forward. There are many resources out there, including your fellow classmates, and you may not realize that. And making those connections, as well as being involved in your college campus or even the community, can help you accomplish your goals in ways you may have not imagined. I have been involved in the community for the past 5 years. I began volunteering in Arizona, where I lived for 10 years, and continued to volunteer in elementary schools and other different organizations when I moved to Oregon 3 years ago. But why do I pursue to volunteer, you may ask? The first reason is because I don't want others to struggle like I did. For example, there was a time when I struggled with elementary school because I only spoke Spanish. It was a language barrier that made it difficult to make friends, to communicate with my teachers, and simply be and feel like the other students who followed just a normal schedule. In helping decrease the magnitude of such struggles and be able to do that in the life of others has the potential to positively change their life and create a ripple effect just like it did with me. Each time we help someone directly or indirectly, we grow as an individual and as a community. However, I would like to share with you the most significant volunteering experience so far in my life. I'm an active volunteer at the True Life Pantry in Beaverton. This pantry gives families in need a month's worth of food supply and is open to the public twice a month. Our supply comes from donors, grants, local farmers, and the Oregon Food Bank. And just like my struggle through elementary school, there was a day when my family struggled with food as well. One day I went to True Life, and just give me a second, sorry. It was a big step because I never imagined, I would be that person to stand there and ask for such a help. But we had just moved to Oregon and things changed completely. So I walked in there and I met Elisa Villagomez, who is the co-founder and director of the True Life Pantry. Just seeing how busy they were, I thought I could help out, and she extended her hand and she's like, sure, come help. So I began to help there. And some of the things that I do is we take our clients' orders, I go ahead and put together the food supplies, I pack the item, and I go ahead and translate for Spanish speakers. So that's another barrier that we break there, and we're able to extend our reach to even more of the community. So that's why I want to tell you that no matter how silly the questions, or don't underestimate yourself, because sometimes just a hand makes a huge difference in someone's life. But True Life, other than helping those in the community through hunger, is also a hand that is helping me personally reach my dreams, such as reaching higher education. Just 3 years ago, I was not eligible for any financial aid because of my status in the US. But although I had more than a desire to attend college, the major financial barriers which many of us face made it impossible and almost a fantasy. And not impossible, let me correct that, just a fantasy. But thanks to the PCC Scholarship Foundation and all of you donors, I am able to stand here and speak to you this evening and share with you the beginning of my academic journey. When I received an email from Mary Kay congratulating me as a recipient of the Brenda Fung and the Service to Community Scholarship, my hands were shaking and my heart was beating faster than a semi-truck going downhill. And why? Because that meant that my dream of going to college was going to come true, and that fantasy was going to be a reality. There are 6 people in my household, and only my father and I provide for those 6 people. So thanks to both of these scholarships, I was able to quit one of my jobs and still be able to sustain my family and attend Portland Community College as a full-time student. I attended PCC from 2011 to summer 2013 in the intent of acquiring my Associates of Oregon Transfer Business degree. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm today a transfer student at Pacific University. My major is business administration with concentration in finance. And one of my ultimate academic goals is to obtain a master's in the field. Meanwhile, one of my personal goals is to work for a corporation like Nike or Google. In the meantime, I work at a pawn shop. It might seem silly, and it looks like I've got a long way to go. But amazingly enough, the type of duties I have in my workplace are strongly preparing me for what is in the near future. If any of you have seen Pawn Stars, a cut of a pawn is not that different. Every day is a day of learning. I'm exposed to items like jewelry, to World War II firearms. But one of the most fascinating things for me is to be able to apply what I learn at Pacific almost every single day. Some of my duties include making loans, collecting interest, bookkeeping, and finding the future value of things I didn't even know existed. And I am fascinated with everything I'm exposed to and love the challenge to find a long-term solution to a problem. And this job is also helping people. Although they're struggling, you're also giving them a hint to move on. I don't think I would be able to be as successful at my current job and as motivated to reach my ultimate goal if I was not in college learning about what I'm passionate about, business administration. And I would not be learning about business administration if PCC Foundation scholarships had not given me the opportunity to start my academic journey at PCC. I would also like to point out the fact that just like the opportunity allows us to move forward, hard work, dedication, and peer support are some of the most essential ingredients influencing our level of future success. My parents, for example, did not have the opportunity to attend school because their parents had a different mentality. My mom was one of 22, and my dad was one of 13. And of course, school was an option in Mexico back in their day. My parents don't have that high level of academic education, but they are my heroes. They inspire me to move forward and to take challenges and set goals and not settle until I've reached them. They help me find the light in the darkness, and without a doubt, they're the sunshine of my life. I appreciate them greatly because they have helped me strengthen my character and taught me to shake things off and get back in the game even if I failed. And just like I thank my parents, I want to thank you, family and peers, for supporting one of these scholarship recipients because you guys do make an impact. And to conclude, I want to thank Portland Community College for opening its doors to me and all of those seeking higher education to reach the ultimate goal. At the same time, I appreciate you donors for giving us the opportunity to move forward and provide a stepstone that not everyone is willing to give. And lastly, I want to congratulate you, Achievers, for your hard work. It's not easy. Keep your dreams alive and understand that in order to reach something or anything, you have to believe in yourself, have a vision, and work hard and be determined. Never underestimate your potentials or your dreams, no matter how silly they may seem, or if someone tells you, you know what, that's just a fantasy, because it won't be. Michelangelo once said, the greatest danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss, but that it is too low and we reach it. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you Dick Stenson, the President and CEO of Tuality Healthcare and Tuality Health Alliance, and current PCC Foundation Board Chair. Mr. Stenson has dedicated his time and leadership to the foundation since 2011, and as a scholarship recipient, I am very thankful for Dick and all of the other board members that worked tirelessly with the foundation to raise thousands of dollars for scholarships and programs at PCC.
Thank you, Erika. I don't know about you, but I'd just as soon spend the rest of the afternoon listening to PCC success stories. It's very, very inspiring. Well, on behalf of the PCC Foundation Board, I also want to congratulate all of the honorees, the awardees today. When we read these scholarship applications every year, we are just amazed at what people have to overcome just to get here, to get this far, to set foot on a PCC campus. This room is filled with people who are the first in their families to go to college, or are returning to work after losing their job, or want to inspire their children by doing better, or just want to have an opportunity to have a new career and a new life. Can I please ask the scholarship recipients who are here today to stand so we could recognize you all? Thank you. As others have said, this is just one more door that's opening for you, so when you hear the next knock, make sure you open that next door. I'd also like to thank our generous donors who are here. With your financial support, as Kristin said, we have 875 PCC students receiving scholarships this year, totaling $940,000, more than double than we did 5 years ago. So congratulations. Thank you, donors. And even in these tough economic times, that's an $85,000 increase over what we had last year, which is just amazing. Thank you so much. The Foundation truly appreciates your commitments to our mission and to our students. There's no denying that the need for the scholarship continues to be great, and here are just a few sobering facts. The number of applications for financial aid has increased 10% in the past year. And this year alone, we've already had 54,000 applications for financial aid, and the year's not over yet. Last year we had 66,000. Close to 50% of the students who receive financial aid still have, and 2/3 those, 50% of the students receive financial aid, and 2/3 of those still have to take out loans. So the PCC Foundation's vision and goal is that all students in the region should have access to excellent education at PCC and the support needed to succeed, regardless of their ability to pay. So while we're very proud that we were able to reach out and help 875 students with scholarships this year, that still only covered 45% of the students who applied. So you still are the lucky ones. Clearly, we have a long way to go, but we make great strides each year and continue to do so. And in fact, our goal next year is to hit $1 million or exceed $1 million. So I'm hopeful with our supporters' continued commitment, we'll be able to actually surpass that goal. Now I am pleased to introduce one of our many partners to join Dr. Brown and me on stage, Elisa Dozono, the chairperson of the Oregon Lottery. Elisa? The Oregon Lottery has supported PCC students and the Foundation since 2009. And like the PCC Foundation, the Oregon Lottery is committed to helping students reach their educational goals and achieve their dreams.
Thank you. A college education opens doors to exciting careers and can ultimately, as Dick said, ultimately help students achieve their dreams. That is why the Oregon Lottery is very proud to be a contributor to PCC and the PCC Foundation to champion students and their education, career, and career goals. Seeing local students succeed in their goals is very important to both the PCC Foundation and the Oregon Lottery. Since 1995, lottery funds have supported public education by providing over $5 billion to areas such as intercollegiate athletics and academic scholarships. In fact, the Oregon Lottery has been a proud supporter of PCC since 2009, providing $45,000 in support to PCC students. It is my pleasure to share with you that this year the Oregon Lottery is making a contribution of $10,000 to the PCC Foundation. And I have a large check here, which Apparently I need to sign first. So, Dr. Brown.
Thank you so much.
I heard you're going to have a hard time getting that in the ATM. Before I end my remarks, I want to recognize PCC student Sabrina Brandt. Sabrina, are you out there? Sabrina is the Oregon Lottery Scholarship recipient for this year. Like so many PCC students, Sabrina overcame significant adversity, arriving at PCC with the equivalent of a 7th grade education. Today, she is Vice President of PCC Cascades chapter of the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. The Oregon Lottery congratulates Sabrina, and we wish her the best for this coming year. Thank you all, and go PCC.
Well, thank you so much to the Oregon Lottery and our many donors and supporters. Now, we would like to honor all of our scholars who are here. So I believe that they're going to be coming up on stage, and we're going to be recognizing them individually. And you're going to come up and shake hands with Dr. Brown and our alums and our many other folks here on the stage, our campus presidents, and Dick Stenson, our foundation board president. So I think it's time to welcome our students up. Okay, so of course we have Erika Chavez, our Brenda Fung Scholarship recipient. Lial Day. Thank you. Li Shao Chen. Hiroko Karach. Tial Nicholas. Melody Brooks, Ariane Medina, and I'll share with you just a few of the scholarships that many of these students are receiving. So we have some scholarships that are specifically dedicated to incoming high school students, and that's what Ariane has received. Kalira Stratton is receiving our Carol Ann Courtois Scholarship. Shizuru is receiving one of our Oregon Community Foundation scholarships. Victoria LaFera, one of our PCC Success Program scholarships. Well, this is Christopher Changer, and he is receiving our first scholarship in honor of our past president, Dr. Preston Pulliams, and his wife, Joan Pulliams. Chiago Denchuk is receiving the Robert Fenders Memorial Scholarship. John Mark Ross is receiving an honorary scholarship in honor of one of our former college board members, Mr. David Squire. Gabina Gonzalez is receiving the Claire and Mary Shields Memorial Scholarship. Amirani is receiving the Legacy Emmanuel Medical Center Scholarship. Veronica Marushank is receiving one of the scholarships that we award to students who are contributing community service in our neighborhoods, the Service to Community Scholarship. Veronica.
Engineering.
Chantel Gamba is receiving the Wysong Ponzi Engineering Scholarship. Jessica Mallet Fleming is receiving a Design and Build Scholarship. Jesse Klinert receiving the Platt Electric Scholarship. Dario Mazarigos is receiving the PCC Sylvania Multicultural Center Scholarship. Christy Comby is receiving the Keith Skelton Scholarship. Maribel Ortiz is receiving the New Directions Scholarship from our foundation board member, Max Lyons, and his wife, Carol.
Good luck.
Nathan Pachmar, pretty close, but
Just don't call me late for dinner.
is receiving the Learning Differences Students Scholarship. Julie Dang is receiving a scholarship from one of our long-term funders, the Wan Young Trust West. Wee San Kwong is receiving the Albert E. Jones Memorial Scholarship. Sam Weissman is our Rose Scholar Honorary Scholarship. This is a scholarship that is awarded in honor of PCC employees who have worked at the college for more than 30 years. Adriana Leone is receiving the Sylvania Multicultural Center Scholarship. Frances Fagan is also receiving one of our Oregon Community Foundation scholarships, the Deborah Fennell Bosworth Scholarship. Mohammed Jabir is receiving one of our incoming high school student scholarships. Payal Singh is receiving the Russell Abraham Scholarship. Tara Robertson receiving the PCC Foundation Scholarship. Graham Bartley is receiving an Ophthalmology Medical Technology Scholarship. Well, I think this is my time to pronounce ophthalmolic more in the last 15 seconds than I have in the last year. Alina Indushkin is receiving also the Ophthalmolic Medical Technology Scholarship. Emanuel Trobasi is receiving the Jim and Betty Strait Scholarship. Jeanette Riggle is receiving a scholarship in honor of a PCC former faculty member at the Rock Creek campus who our art gallery is named for there, the Richard Helzer Memorial Art Scholarship. Courtney Cohen is one of our incoming high school student scholarship recipients. Ann Toomey is receiving the Beaverton Women's Club Scholarship. Barbara Nelson, also receiving the Beaverton Women and Professional Women's Club Scholarship. John Hovius is our Martin Haney Memorial Scholarship recipient. Sao Ting is receiving the John Evans Scholarship. Kirsten Holstein is receiving the Hardy Plant Society Scholarship. Mary Van Cleek is receiving, I got it right, is receiving the Rask Family Memorial Fund Scholarship. The Rask family has also supported us for a very long time. Gail DeFreitas is receiving one of our career technical scholarships. Mackenzie McCartan is receiving the J&J Inc. Scholarship. James Renz is also a J&J Scholarship recipient. Mare Cox is receiving the Marvin Scholarship. Ariel Connolly Smith is receiving an Aviation Science Scholarship. Glicky Kabid is receiving a scholarship in honor of our Diamond Alum Award winner who could not be here today, Senator Margaret Carter. Vivian Cow is receiving a scholarship today from our food service department, and I just want to share just a little bit about what that is. When folks come and purchase things from our food services at PCC, there's a tip jar there, and those tips are actually contributed to the foundation to award a scholarship to a student who is working in food services. Fa No is receiving the Associated Students of PCC Scholarship. That's our student government. Kim Ferris is our Joanne Thomas Scholarship recipient. Kim Hodgen is another one of our Design and Build Scholarship recipients. Deborah Hicks is also receiving a scholarship today in honor of a very important person to Portland Community College, and that is our former college board member, Harold Williams, Sr. Congratulations, Deborah. Karen Smith is receiving the Robert Wright Scholarship. Megan Cahill is receiving one of our newest scholarships, the Walton Wentworth Garish Neonatal Nursing Scholarship for nursing students. Yasmina Green is also receiving the Max and Carol Lyons Scholarship. Alma Gabriel, Service to Community Scholarship. Lynn Hoyt, one of our New Direction Scholarship recipients. Phoenix Tolliver is receiving one of our Robert Finders Memorial Scholarships. Myra Carranza is receiving the Adelante Mujeres Scholarship. As is Heidi Perez Galvez. Brianda Alcazar is receiving the New Directions Scholarship. Nissa Lund is receiving the Donald and Bonnie Blish Scholarship. Chelsea Sampson is receiving one of our Ron Young Trust West scholarships. Debbie Jimenez is receiving our PCC Success Program scholarship. Sarah De La Pena is also a PCC Success Program recipient. Shauna Lynn Rogers is receiving a scholarship from the Oregon Community Foundation's Joseph Weston Public Scholarship Fund. Amanda Loveridge Davis is one of our Service to Community Scholarship recipients. Kevin Klein, our Design and Build Scholarship. Marcia Berg, Career Technical Scholarship recipient. Maria Morales is receiving a scholarship in honor of Deborah Evans, who was the longtime coordinator of our Women's Resource Center here at Sylvania. Yosef Berhi is also receiving an honorary Harold Williams Sr. Memorial Scholarship. Queen Anne is receiving a food service scholarship. Mai No is receiving a Wan Young Trust West scholarship. Kathleen Meehan is receiving an honorary scholarship in honor of Norma Jean Germond, also one of our former College Board members. Sarah Atkins is the recipient of the Oregon Community Foundation Zelma Gordon Nursing Scholarship. Samantha Chess is receiving the Carl, I'm not going to get this right, Piacentini Scholarship. Ian Redding is the recipient of the Pynchon Endowed Scholarship. Melissa Lee, the Joan Dalla Memorial Scholarship. Maurice Lehman is receiving our PCC Incoming High School Student Scholarship. Cassandra Wood, one of our PCC Success Programs recipients. Tony Funches is receiving the Claire and Mary Shields Memorial Scholarship. Reg Duncan, one of our Career Technical Scholarship recipients. Crystal Reynolds, one of our Learning Differences Student Scholarships. Sasha Thoreau is actually receiving 2 scholarships, the Wentz Family Foundation and also the Beaverton Women's Club Foundation Scholarship. Justin Manny, Career Technical Scholarship recipient. Abala Kim, the Seabury Stokes Scholarship. Lulu Rayton, the scholarship for the Robert and Evelyn Fisk Endowed Nursing. Hung Tran is receiving the Men's Zidell Nursing Scholarship. Brendan Appleberry is receiving the Robert and Evelyn Fisk Scholarship. C-Ring Yeshi is receiving the Men's Idell Scholarship. As is Justine Blod. I think all of our nursing students sat together because Brandy Lonjay Wilson is receiving the Mary Ella Menley Nursing Scholarship. Naho Katagiri is receiving the Sue George Memorial Scholarship. Whitney Cole is receiving the Friends of the Library Scholarship. Su Ting Wang is another one of our food services scholarship recipients. Jean Roberts is the recipient of the American Business Women's Association Scholarship. Molly Tate is the recipient of 2 scholarships, the Doreen Margolin Memorial Scholarship and the John Connor Memorial Book Award Scholarship. She's going to whisper it to me. And Susie Sample, this was kind of a tongue twister. Susie Sample is receiving the Service to Community Scholarship. Well, thank you so much to all of our scholarship recipients who were able to be with us today. Oh, I think we have, do we have one more? I think that's a good reason. He just got out of class. And tell us what your name is?
Keats Nelson.
Keats Nelson. And what scholarship are you being awarded?
Patty Jean Samora.
The Patty Jean Samora Scholarship. Thank you so much. Come on up. And Uwar Diwalani is receiving the Service to Community Scholarship. Well, now, thank you again to all of our scholarship recipients who were able to join us today. And what is really tremendously exciting is that there are hundreds more of you who couldn't be here today because they were in class or working or caring for their families and doing the other very important things in their lives. But we would like to have one more round of applause for all of you who are able to join us today. On behalf of the PCC Foundation, our donors, we wish you the best of luck in this school year and beyond. I think in listening to our 2 alum scholarship recipients, Erika and Tara, you can see that the future is incredibly bright for all of our students. Thank you all for coming. Please stay, enjoy the refreshments and the beautiful weather, and enjoy meeting our scholarship recipients.